Hey YouTube, Elvis Ammo here. Hey, today I just wanted to give you a quick review of the Lee Loadmaster. It's a progressive press, and what I wanted to do is I just wanted to give you at first just a quick overview of the press and how I have it set up and what I do to normally prepare to make ammunition on it. It's a progressive press. Some people say, you know, you can do 700 rounds an hour. I'm not exactly sure about all that. I'm probably a little bit slower than that, as a matter of fact. But this is the Lee Loadmaster progressive press, and since the last time you saw this thing operate, I've done a couple of other things to it. Like for instance, I already had this 4-tube magazine for bullets. All right. So if you want to run a lot of bullets and you don't want to keep reloading your bullet feeder or set the bullets on by hand, I can't remember, but I believe it comes with a single. No, it don't. I think you have to buy the bullet feeder separate. It's a single tube. I would tell you, I was kind of apprehensive about even putting this on, but since I did, I'm thankful that I did, because man, it has some features about it that makes things pretty nice. Anyway, Lee Loadmaster progressive press. One of the things this thing does is, first of all, it'll hold. I'm going to be running some 9mm here, and first of all, this thing will hold over 100 9mm bullets from my Lee mold of 124 grain powder coated bullets. Now, one of the nice things about this is, I don't think it's intended, but some of the complaints about the bullet feeding magazine is you can't load it until the casing comes around ready for a bullet, or you'll have bullets trying to feed before you have a casing there to put it on. So what I've done is I just took a couple of pieces of blue tape, and when they're lined up like that, I can load this magazine tubes, 4 tubes full of bullets, and and then whenever I want, whenever the casing comes around to the stage where the bullet feeder is going to put a bullet on, you just simply turn that to where the bullets are going to start feeding. So that's a nice feature. Anyway, I just thought I'd throw that out. So now I'm going to just remove these tubes so we can see behind it. I'm just going to remove them temporarily. Alright, the next thing that I've done to this press since you've seen it run last is I already had this this auto drum, this Lee auto drum powder measure. I was using it on a single stage press for rifle loads, and I knew eventually I would put it on here, and so I did that too, and I really like it on here. You can the nice feature now, first of all, the auto disc powder measure that comes with this press, which is this one, is just fine. Good powder measure. I've not had any trouble with it, although it does not have an infinite type of adjustment on it. You have to change the discs out to the amount of powder that you want to use, and I've not found no problem with it at all. So what I done with it is I went ahead and just put it on one of these other turrets that use another caliber, and I'll just leave it on this caliber. This one's 45. So I'll just leave this powder measure on the 45 turret, and I won't have to add another powder measure to it. I can just change out my 9mm to my 45 and already have a powder measure set. So that was one of the advantages I knew ahead of time would be when I started getting other powder measures that I could use on my progressive press. Not to mention, you can change out these auto drums to, this is something, this is put out by Lee pretty recently, and I know that Fortune Cookie 45 LC has done quite an extensive review. That's my fortune cookie. There you go, fortune cookie. I told you I had a Fortune Cookie 45 LC fortune cookie. I know that that he has done extensive reviews on these powder measures. I would say, you know, if you want to see in detail how they run and how they operate, you can go to his channel, Fortune Cookie 45 LC, from the hot lead zone. So what I would say, my opinion on it is it's awesome. It works wonderful. It does. It drops very consistent measures, certainly as consistent as the disc. And this is something that you can pick up extra with it, and it's the drums, and they're just 2 of them are for pistols and 2 of them are for rifles, so that whenever you set your Lee auto drum powder measure to where you want for 9mm that we're running today, then you can set it and forget it. You can pull the key out and store it right there, and when you want to change over to another caliber, you can just simply add one of those other powder measures that you already have preset for that particular caliber. And anyway, I just thought I'd throw just a little bit of information about the Lee auto drum powder measure. I really like it. So there we go. Now, thirdly, we have, this is a 4-tube brass casing magazine. All right, and at the top here I have a collator, and I'll just go ahead and show you right now, since I'm going to have to load it right now anyway. This is what I do to load this. This is the lube that I use. It's awesome. It's kind of the same stuff that people make homebrew. It lasts forever. Anyway, I just take a Ziploc bag, and you can see it's pretty rank. I've had a lot of lube in it. And I simply take 1 squirt of that. It's a mist. That's why I really like it. And then what I do is I take, here's my brass. I just take my brass and throw it right in, like that. A lot of it, maybe, I don't know how many rounds, probably 300 in there, 200, something like that, I don't know. And then, all the lube is on the bag. And I do this with just about every casing, same way. Put it in the bag, and then I smear the lube that's on the bag all over the casings, just like that. And that's all you need to do with pistol rounds. Alright, so now they're all lubed inside this bag. And they say to wait 2 minutes for it to dry. It don't matter, it's going to be 2 minutes before we load them. but you don't have to wait for them to dry. And then I simply take a handful like this and I shake this. Shake the collator with the tubes, and what that'll do is it'll cause the heavy end of the brass to fall straight down into the tube, and it works great. It's kind of rare that I have one upside down, to be honest with you. I don't know how it works so good. Like that. Handful and shake it. Just like that, and it's about full there, and then I got a 45 in there. Yeah, you gotta watch that. Okay. And then I just hand feed to fill the tube up, the remaining, like that, all the way to the top, and that's it. Alright, so pretty awesome little piece of equipment right here, okay? And it's about as simple as it can be. It's not mechanical, so it's not going to break down. That's wonderful. So there we go. We've got the brass loaded. Now we got enough powder for what we're going to do right now. And then I'm just going to go ahead and put these tubes right in here. They just set right in there and they'll stay. And I'm going to go ahead and turn it to line it up where my tape marks are. That way when I load the bullet feeders, feeding tubes up, no bullets will feed until I'm ready for them. Okay? So here we go. Let's put some bullets in there. Alright. Put some bullets in there. I just take a handful of bullets and I just start loading them like that. Drop them right in. Until I fill it up. Alright. Just fill them right up. They're probably about, I'd say this thing holds maybe 30 a tube. Alright. Times 4. And I'm not going to fill it up. That's good enough for right now. Fill them all up, and you got your bullets right here. Now, a couple of other things that I would. Now, that's how I set up before I'm about to load. Now, the next thing that we're going to do is I have some primers already in on the press, but they're getting very low. So what I do now is I go ahead and grab some primers right here and pull them out. I'm using small pistol primers from CCI. Alright, and this is a primer tray, and it feeds right onto the press, into the priming station. Alright, pull this apart, and I just upsetted that on YouTube. Alright, so then what I do is I just put this on top of this, and I simply just flip it over like that and shake them where they're all facing right side up. And they all went. Okay, that's good. And then close that up. There we go. So now we have 100 primers ready to go right here. 100 primers. Alright, so now we're all set to start loading. Okay, I've got so now what I have on my bench right here is I have a scale because I want to make sure I'm running a consistent powder measure. I'm running 4.1, 4.2. That's what I'm running 4.2 grains of HP38 in this particular load. So I'm going to check and make sure that I'm running a consistent, especially on the first few. And then you're looking down inside there and making sure that all of them are in the area where they're supposed to be. And you can recheck so often to make sure your powder measure is consistent. So next thing we're going to do is, so that's why I got a scale sitting here. Keep a scale sitting here, whatever scale you're using. I just happen to have a Frankfurt Arsenal digital scale sitting out here, okay? And keep your calipers handy, because whenever you want to make sure, I'm running these at 1.125, and that's why I want to make sure every one of them is consistent. So I have my calipers here, I have my scale here. Two more items I like to have at my fingertips while I'm running. I have a pair of tweezers. Alright, I can reach in there and grab all kinds of things, you know, that I need to grab if I need to grab something. Most of the time I don't need to use them, sometimes I do. This is the next tool. Everybody recognizes this. This is a paint can opener. Alright, it's the best tool. I've used this more than any other tool for this press. I can pull these little fingers back so that I can pull a case out. I can use it to wedge them back with, push them back. I can reach in there and pull something. That's an awesome tool. They're free at Home Depot when you buy paint. Alright, so that's what I like handy. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to bring you in closer here, and we're going to get a close-up, and I'm going to show you how this thing runs. Okay, so here we go. Alright, whenever I pull this handle, then what's going to happen is brass casing is going to drop onto this slide that slides back and forth, and it's going to push a brass case into the plate right here that spins around. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to pull the handle, and when I go down, do you hear that? A brass casing just fell out of there and landed there, and now it's going to slide. Okay, on the next pull now it's going to feed into the plate. There it goes. See, as soon as I pull the handle back, you see the casing, it's feeding in. Now it's going to go into the decapping die. Alright, that's the Lee Universal decapping die. And now it just, that casing that just went through the decapping die is now in the resizing die. Alright, and while it's being resized, it's going to get a primer in it. And at the same time, this next case is going to feed into the Universal decapping die. So here we go. We just decapped one, primed one, and sized the case. And that stupid thing happened again. Alright. Oh, remember what I just said? That this thing rarely turns one upside down? On YouTube, it always will. So if you're not watching what you're doing, you'll try to deprime it upside down. That's not good. Alright. So now I've already checked this measure to see if I'm getting the charge that I'm looking for. Alright. So I'm not going to check it here on YouTube. Pull the handle again. Now what just happened was one got decapped, one got sized, one got charged with powder, or, well, not yet. It's oh, I take that back. Yeah, it's over here. This one will get charged with powder. Okay, decap, resized, primed, charged, and now we have one ready for the bullet feeder. And I'll just spin that around and make sure this is where it's supposed to be. Always make sure, especially that first one. Alright. So now when I pull this handle, I'm going to get a bullet feeding on this station, charge, decap, prime, size and prime, decapped, and then the next stage it's going to go into is the factory crimp die. So here we go. There's a bullet on the bullet fingers, feed it out, case there, boom, there we go. Now we just had everything, well, almost everything happen at once. Now on the next pull, when I pull the handle, what's going to happen is the first round is going to get decapped, the second round is going to get resized, the brass, and primed. This one's going to get charged and flared the top of the case to accept the bullet. This one is going to feed a bullet on top of the case. This one is going to give a factory crimp to that bullet. There we go. Everything just happened all at once, and our first round is complete. There we go. Got a primer on there, and that's where you grab your calipers and you make sure that this thing is set. Okay, 1.120, that's good enough. So I fly. Alright, so there we go. Now this is what it looks like when you got them all running. All stages go. And you can just guesstimate on your own how fast and how many rounds you can make in an hour. Alright. Just like that. Kind of like shooting. Fast you can pull the trigger, except for you can shoot faster than this. I'm watching all stages, making sure I'm not out of primers yet, making sure my cases are right side up, making sure my bullets are feeding, making sure my powder is charged. I'm looking at all these things all at once, because if you don't, you're going to run into a problem. Alright? There we go. So we run about 25 rounds right there real quick, and here's our product. Alright, we have all this nice powder coated ammunition, and if you want to know about making bullets and powder coating, I have another video on that. So there we go, powder coated bullets, 124 grain Lee tumble lube out of the mold. Of course they're not tumble lube, they're powder coat. And the reason the powder coat looks marbled is because that was a batch that had some black in there with it or something. There we go. Alright, so that's how she runs. Runs good. If you're thinking about getting a Lee Loadmaster, you know, you can when you buy these things from Lee or Midway is where I got mine. A lot of places you can get them. Natchez, Mid-South Shooting Supply. I don't want to just hit on one, but you know, these things are you know, Lee has a good program. You call them up, usually you're talking to a family member or something like that. I mean, they're just awesome people to deal with. They've helped me. They've answered the phone when I've called. So all I can say is they stand behind their stuff. They have good equipment. And man, when you start buying these little bits and pieces of different stuff, you'll get into it, and it's kind of like, you know, Legos. You'll start buying more and more stuff. But the good thing is, it's a lot cheaper, maybe half or a third the cost sometimes, of other companies. But I love the other companies too. Please don't get me wrong. I've used some of their stuff here and there. So, but this is what I can afford the best, and I can have the most fun with it. I can max this thing out and just make a lot of ammo. But of course, if you start with a single stage press, you can't go wrong either, because you're going to end up getting one anyway. You're going to need and you can buy some of these little single stage presses for $25, okay, for Lee. So don't even worry about it. Just go ahead and get you one if you can afford $25 more. But you can get one of these right here, Mid-South, Midway, Natchez, one of those Graff and Sons, one of these places, $260 or something like that. Now I can't remember what all comes with it, but you get a lot with it. You get some accessories with it. That's matter of fact, that is with a whole set of dies. If you can buy it in a kit for 9mm, 45, 38, 10mm, whatever you're running. So I say if you're looking for one, get one. This thing runs awesome. You're gonna have to learn to tinker. You're going to learn to work when you're reloading. Most reloaders are already tinkerers to begin with. They already have an engineering degree from the backyard. So I'm just saying, just throwing that out there. There's some learning curves. But you know what? As soon you'll get it. Just make sure you follow the rules, the safety rules. Don't kill nobody. Don't kill yourself. Don't hurt yourself. Just follow those rules, and everything else will fall into place. Don't worry. Get you one. All the information will come together. But if you're the type that just wants something, boom, just like that, don't even start. This is not one of those programs. This is something that you want to get if you enjoy your work, if you appreciate your product, if the quickness will come, but this is not Burger King. You don't just drive up and get it. There's some work involved. Anywho, I'll probably do another review, sort of, kind of. Maybe I'll run some 223 on it. So I'll show that you can actually run rifle rounds on this thing. That's another decent thing about this press. All right, YouTube, thank you very much. Elvis Ammo signing out.